Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. Hey, what's up, Facebook family? Welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide, and servant on the healing journey. What's my name, Big Papa? Brian+Post. Hope everyone's having an amazing, terrific, tremendous Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. I think it was last week. It was Thursday, and I was going off on my freaking fabulous Friday spiel. So, hey there, Ashley. So here we are on Thursday. Oh my goodness, it has been a busy day. Actually, I have film crew coming in tomorrow, do some filming. Still have a ton of stuff to do. But I wanted to pop on here. I was on a phone call, that's why I'm running a little bit late. Chop it up with you guys this evening and talk about challenging new paradigms. Challenging new paradigms with common sense. So probably 15 years ago, I think I was listening to a Stephen Covey audio program, and he was talking about a paradigm shift. And he was talking about being on a train early one morning, a subway early one morning, and dad came on the train. This came from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Dad came on the subway with like 3 or 4 of his little kids. Hey there, Sue. And they were really rambunctious, and they were, knocking over people's coffee and being super disruptive. And Stephen Covey said the dad just seemed like he was in a complete daze. And this just continued to the point that Covey says he finally had to, feeling somewhat frustrated. Hey there, Tracy. Feeling somewhat frustrated, he finally said to the dad, hey, sir, do you see that your kids are being really disruptive? And he said, the dad hesitated, looked up, and said, oh, yeah, I guess they are, aren't they? Their mother just died, and we're not sure what we're going to do. And so think about that for a moment. Their mother just died, and we're not sure what we're going to do. And Covey says in that moment, he had a paradigm shift. So things completely changed. So he went from feeling irritated and frustrated by the man, by judging him as being a poor parent, to all of a sudden his whole emotion changed, his thinking changed, everything changed, and he said to the guy, what can I do to help? That's the power of a paradigm shift. The power of a paradigm shift is when your lens completely changed. And I've been talking about seeing through a trauma lens for a long time. We have to learn, and the reason I started talking about this, and it's funny because I see more and more people mentioning lens now. I used to say, I wish I could get a pair of sunglasses that on the inside had a little baby, and that when we looked at one another, what we actually saw was a baby inside the individual. And by seeing the baby inside the individual, you learn to respond to the baby, not to react to what you're seeing physically. You respond to the baby, and I call that seeing through a trauma lens. When you start to look through a lens that sees the baby, sees the trauma, sees the stress, and sees the fear, it has the potential to change a lot of things. Hello there, Mimi. Good evening to you. Hey there, Johnny from Grand Ledge, Michigan. And as always, there's Kirsten. And hello there, Tammy Simpson, Martin. So we have to learn to see, and hello there, New Parenting Netherlands. Good evening to you as well. We have to learn to see through a trauma lens. And so I had a couple of different encounters today, one specifically with a lot of professionals, and it just made me think of the power of a paradigm shift. When you are operating out of a traditional paradigm, especially a traditional parenting paradigm, you see things through the same lens, and it's almost like you see the child as, maybe you see the child as a reflection, maybe we see the child as a reflection of us when we're looking through an old paradigm. We see the child as a reflection of us. We don't see them as separate individuals with their own unique experiences, but we see them the way we think they need to be molded based on the way we were molded. And by looking through that paradigm, we only see things a certain way. And the problem with the problem with the old paradigm is that our old parenting paradigms are rooted in fear, and they're rooted in control, and they're rooted in power and dominance. They're not rooted in relationship and understanding. A new paradigm, the paradigm that I'm really encouraging you all to engage in, and there's two ways that you change your paradigm. One is repetition, and the other is emotional impact. Every time you watch these daily doses, you're going through the repetition of changing your paradigm. Because I speak from a different paradigm, 100%. It's just a different paradigm than the traditional paradigm. And many people can be challenged by that, because even though everything I say makes perfect sense, it makes perfect common sense, the problem is the old paradigm, because it's based in stress. And remember what I'm always talking about, Joseph Ledoux, the emotional brain, what his quote is: in times of stress, our thinking becomes confused and distorted, and our short-term memory is suppressed. When our old paradigm is based in stress and has the seeds of stress, it automatically sets us up for confused and distorted thinking. We stop seeing clearly from the beginning. It's like we cease to see clearly when we're operating from an old paradigm. I was in a meeting and I could feel the tension in the room. It was palpable. But you know what my focus was on? My focus was on my own internal state. It was focused on my breathing. It was focused on the positioning of my feet, the way I was sitting. Water, I got up and got water so I could drink, keep me present, keep me grounded, because I knew I was in an environment which could easily hijack my amygdala. Just because I'm so passionate about kids, and I'm so passionate about us seeing things from love instead of fear, and oftentimes I am often fearful that we're not going to be able to see the love, and then my fear takes over and I'm not able to communicate and stay in a space of love. See, that's how my fear takes over, because I'm so passionate, so committed. I've seen so much pain over my career, and I still have a very sensitive amygdala. So when I'm in a room of adults and I feel the tension, I have to focus on me. I have to focus on my breathing. I can stay aware of everyone in the room, but I have to focus on being present and conscious and aware of me. Because if I lose my grounding, I'm going to lose my opportunity to have influence. I don't want to be a threat. I want to influence. I don't want to alienate. I want to create relationship. I don't want to create conflict. I want to create understanding, because I believe that's how we ultimately come together as a community. So the first person who is responsible for the environment in that room is myself. And so when I'm able to do that, I'm able to stay centered, I'm able to stay present, I'm able to stay focused, I'm able to stay conscious and mindful of everyone else, and then communicate in a clear and coherent way. And when I communicate from that perspective, from that paradigm, guess what? People who are sitting firmly in an old paradigm, they have to hear it. They have to hear it because I remove the threat from it. I can't always remove the threat because I'm human. I'm human. Sometimes I say stuff a little too forceful. Sometimes I challenge when I probably should be more patient. But when I'm ultimately able to hold a space of love and then communicate, when someone's operating out of that old paradigm, they have to hear it. And I guess I just want to encourage you all. We've all heard the saying, common sense ain't that common. Common sense requires us the ability to slow down, think clearly, and remember. That's all common sense requires. The ability to slow down, to think clearly, and to remember. The ability to be present. The ability to be mindful, the ability to operate from understanding. And I believe when we're able to do that, we're able to tap into that other paradigm. And I believe that new paradigm is just a paradigm of love. I believe that is the paradigm. When we talk about different paradigms, I mean, I'm very clear that we operate and raise our children primarily in a fear-based paradigm. And I'm also very clear that the message I share with you and the message I try to teach and the message I try to participate in every single day is a love-based paradigm. And so that's the big challenge. How can we get out of that fear-based paradigm that is so entrenched in our brains and sometimes in our hearts and sometimes in our guts? How can we get out of that old paradigm of looking at other people as out to attack us or out to do us harm or out to manipulate us or out to take advantage of us? Or out to defy us, or out to hurt us? How can we stop looking at that from that lens and change that lens and see those individuals as scared, especially when it comes to children, but even as adults, see them as scared, see them as stressed, see them as unaware, see them as doing the best they can in any given moment? How can we do that? How can we change that paradigm? I'm going to leave you with that. I want you to think about that. I still have some stuff I got to get done this evening. So on that note, I would play my Big Pop again, but I think it's kind of messed up because of it's YouTube. Remember, guys, in any given situation, we always have two choices. We can continue to react from the same blueprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm. And sometimes we don't even know, and a lot of times we don't know it because we don't do this next part. Or we can stop, we can slow down, breathe with me. We can take 3 to 10 deep breaths and choose love. When we begin the process of choosing love, it makes a huge difference, the paradigm we're operating from. And I hope you will choose love. God bless each and every one of you. Big Papa loves you. And I will see you mañana. Gonna be doing a lot of filming, but yeah, I should be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, guys. Good night.